Every time I walk into my office, I'm always reminded by how crazy it is to own this racing sim setup. I mean, if I'm being honest, I drive on this thing more than I drive in real life. Anytime my friends come over, we spend hours racing and competing, trying to get the highest score in No Hesi or the fastest lap time in a rally race. And because of that, I decided I want to take this racing setup to the next level. So buckle up, Buttercup.
This is the worst!
The first thing that we're going to be upgrading on this sim racing setup is going to be this chair. The current chair I've been using is the ERS1 from Next Level Racing, which by no means is a bad chair. But after hours of racing, my huge dump truck starts to hurt. So that's why they sent over their new ERS chair, which if I'm being honest, it's like my favorite sim racing chair I've ever tried. I've only tried 2 in my life. But with all seriousness, this chair has beautiful stitching and it's made out of leather material, which I personally prefer for when you get hot in the seat. And the cushion is way more comfortable than the previous one. It has all the same adjustability as the other chair, it just looks better and feels much better. For our next upgrades, we're going to be swapping and adding some more Moza Racing gear. For starters, we got a new wheelbase, which is the R12 wheelbase, and it's a little bit bigger than the current R9 base that I have on there. It has a 12 Newton meter direct drive power base, which is 3 more Newton meters than the R9, and it has better responsive feedback, allowing the racing experience to feel more immersive. Next, we got 2 new wheels. The first one is the Moza trucking wheel for those laid-back sim sessions where you want to grab a cold one and just do some missions on Euro Truck Simulator, which I think is nice because it adds another dimension to the racing sim setup. And the second wheel is their new Vision GS steering wheel, which feels insanely high-end, that can display all sorts of information, and it's fully customizable. And I have to say, this wheel is by far my favorite wheel I've ever tried from Moza. Now that we've upgraded a bunch of the hardware, I wanted this setup to feel like an actual setup. It felt like it was missing some oomph and personality, so let's just fix that. Starting with these crazy lights from Govee. These new wall lights are their new collab with Evangelion, and the idea that I had for these lights is to put them here in the corner, and in between the lights, add these IKEA lac shelves to display the wheels on when they're not being used. And if I'm being honest, this process took way too long than I expected it to be, but it was well worth it, because these lights make the wall look so futuristic and highlight the wheels a lot. Now on the right side of the wall, I hung up this digital display from Netgear and uploaded some vertical high quality car pictures to even give more personality to this area. And for the final steps to take the racing sim to the next level, I decided to add lights on the racing cockpit itself. So on the outside, I wrapped it with this Govee rope light to make you feel like Lightning McQueen, and for that Need for Speed Underground 2 underglow effect, I added some of these new Nanolife light strips under the racing cockpit, which honestly, as much as I feel like it's a little cringe, I think it's pretty cool. Now, one of my biggest annoyances with the previous racing setup is that the cable management was kinda meh. You can see cables from all angles, so I spent the next few hours cleaning all the cables, putting them all in the right spots, and just tucking them in as much as I can. And to show you guys the final result, let's just go for a ride. Massive thank you to Next Level Racing, Moza Racing for making these upgrades possible, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And all of you guys are welcome to come and try this racing setup anytime you'd like, and my address is...
Got it!